Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered how countries can fight climate change without hurting their own businesses? Today, we'll learn about the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or CBAM, a new policy introduced by the European Union. Let's find out what it is, why it exists, and why it matters to Thailand. CBAM stands for the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. It is an environmental border tax on carbon-intensive products imported into the European Union. Its goal is to make sure imported products pay a similar carbon cost as products made inside the EU. This creates fair competition while encouraging companies around the world to reduce carbon emissions. CBAM does not apply to every product. In its first phase, it covers 6 Annex I product groups: cement, fertilizers, iron and steel, aluminium, hydrogen, electricity. These industries were chosen because they produce high carbon emissions. CBAM also solves 3 major problems. First, it stops carbon leakage by preventing companies from moving production to countries with weaker climate rules. Second, it creates a level playing field, making sure imported goods face similar carbon costs as EU products. Finally, it encourages global decarbonization by motivating businesses worldwide to reduce emissions if they want to continue exporting to the EU. CBAM is also based on the polluter pays principle and the prevention principle, ensuring that polluters bear environmental costs and that pollution is prevented before it causes greater harm. Now that we understand CBAM, let's see what it means for Thailand. For Thailand, ignoring CBAM is no longer an option. Exporters must now provide verified carbon emissions data. Otherwise, products covered by CBAM Annex I may become more expensive and less competitive in the EU market. The biggest challenges are higher production and compliance costs, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises or SMEs that may struggle to meet the new requirements. However, CBAM also creates new opportunities. It encourages Thai industries to invest in cleaner technologies, reduce carbon emissions, attract foreign investment, and develop more low-carbon products. By adapting early, Thailand can strengthen its industries and become a regional leader in sustainable manufacturing. CBAM is more than just a carbon tax. It is a policy that supports climate action while promoting fair competition in global trade. Although it brings new challenges, it also gives Thailand the opportunity to modernize its industries and build a more sustainable future. Because the base purpose of CBAM is to combat the issue of carbon emission, which is the leading cause of climate change, by ensuring that the selling price of the product in the EU market reflects the true cost. The CBAM ultimately provides a strict financial incentive for industries to adopt clean technology to reduce the carbon cost, which contributes to a better global environment conservation. However, by this measure, as Thailand does not currently have a legitimate carbon pricing system, exporters to the EU will have to face the mandatory carbon pricing addition by paying for a CBAM certificate upon entering the market, which has a strong possibility of being raised gradually. 2 of Thailand's major exporting products to the European Union are iron and steel products and aluminum products. As a result of full implementation, importers of these Thai products will be facing raised costs. Rationally, importers will be looking at different products which have incorporated the carbon price to import for lesser cost and stable profit, which means that Thai product manufacturers will be slowly losing buyers. Eventually, many countries in the world will be adapting and implementing its own CBAM, and our competing ability will lose severely. For our proposed legal measures, we recommend that Thailand adopt 3 complementary approaches: market-based carbon pricing, mandatory carbon reporting, and green industrial policies and incentives. First, Thailand should introduce a carbon tax alongside the Thailand Emissions Trading System, or THETS. A carbon tax requires businesses to pay according to the amount of greenhouse gases they emit, while an ETS sets an emissions cap and allows companies to trade emission allowances. These measures apply the polluter pays principle, encouraging industries to reduce emissions and invest in cleaner technologies. Second, Thailand should require companies to measure, verify, and publicly disclose their carbon emissions through a mandatory measurement, reporting, and verification (MRV) system. Standardized carbon reporting improves transparency, prevents greenwashing, strengthens ESG practices, and helps Thai businesses comply with international reporting requirements. Third, Thailand should strengthen green industrial policies and incentives by providing tax incentives, subsidies, low-interest green financing, and support for renewable energy, energy-efficient technologies, and cleaner production methods. These policies reflect the prevention principle, which focuses on preventing environmental harm before it occurs by encouraging businesses to reduce emissions at the source. Together, these measures would also help Thailand adapt to the EU Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or EU CBAM. A domestic carbon price can reduce the CBAM charges faced by Thai exporters, while better carbon reporting and cleaner production improve compliance with EU standards and maintain international competitiveness. Although these measures involve higher compliance costs and may be challenging for SMEs, they will encourage innovation, attract green investment, strengthen Thailand's long-term competitiveness, and support the country's transition towards carbon neutrality and net zero emissions.